Music's on!
Good job, Sarah.
They practice almost every single day for 2 hours a day. Sometimes they do practices twice a day.
It can be mentally and physically tough.
And then they're doing these insane stunts where in some cases they're flipping people up in the air 10 feet, sometimes even higher than that.
I like being able to do all the crazy stuff. I think it's more thrilling than scary. 1, 3, 5! Can we fix this formation? Anything can happen.
Safety, it's a big time thing. These girls are like, not only our teammates, but like our sisters, and like, we have to take care of them.
Come on, guys!
I'm just watching the traffic go by. That's boring as heck.
When you find yourself running out of time, you start to think seriously about how to spend it.
I don't want to sit.
Jerry Sears knows exactly what he wants to do with the time he has left.
You told me your name.
Before it slips his mind.
I can't remember.
Jerry has Alzheimer's.
What other things do you find yourself forgetting?
I forget people's names that I should know. My wife's name.
His wife's name escapes him, but this lifelong cowboy says other memories seem to stick.
So you grew up ranching,
Yes.
doing rodeos,
Yes.
riding Shetland ponies.
Yes. Getting bucked off a lot of them, but the main answer to that is get right on them again. Get up and get on them. Okay.
And that's exactly
There's our boy.
what he's here to do.
Left foot.
Dear God, I want to get back on a horse. Are you want me to get on now?
Yep, up and over.
I want to spend a full day riding a horse. I mean, that's what I look forward to.
Twice a month, Jerry gets his wish at Star,
How do you feel?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
East
ready?
Tennessee's therapeutic riding academy that uses horses to help veterans,
Rosa.
people with special needs, and now
His true self has been able to come out.
dementia patients like Jerry.
What is it about horses that has such a profound effect on Jerry, do you think?
For people who have had horse experience, they kind of just get to be themselves again. It's because it's almost like they're just home.
Jerry even finds joy in this because of who he's with.
I've never saw so many nice-looking ladies in my life.
That's not why you're here.
Well, it's an excuse, isn't it? Busted.
Walk on.
Walk on.
There you go.
Okay.
Because Jerry spent his whole life on a horse, he's the only dementia patient who's allowed to ride at Star. And even though he still needs little reminders,
All right, you're going to go that way. So just the one, Rain.
Jerry says the simple act of sitting in the saddle
I'm happy as the devil.
relieves his depression.
I love horses. And sometimes I make myself believe that, riding a horse is a therapy to me. It's really helping.
Our next rider is number 303, Jerry Spears.
It's been decades since Jerry last saddled up for a horse show. At Star's annual competition, riders get to show the judges what they've learned, and Jerry gets to remember what it feels like to compete
Walk on.
In second place,
and win.
rider number 303, Jerry Spears.
It was just absolutely great. I did. I felt like I was back in the saddle again.
Horses you don't forget.
No, I remember.
Here, Jerry feels less like he's running out of time and more like he's making the most of it.
When I'm here, I'm at home. It's where I want to be. This is my life that I've got left.
I think that's really what separates good distilleries from great distilleries, is the ability to reproduce something really good every single day.
Sugarland's barrels and bottles Roaming Man, made in this, America's largest pot still.
And really differentiate ourselves from all the other whiskey that's out there.
At 4,500 gallons, this is bigger than a lot of pools. Master distiller Greg Idem says this batch process makes for unique flavor.
Caramel, the vanilla, you're going to get a little bit of fruitiness.
Hitting the right notes every time is a challenge, which is why they have a team.
We've got a sensory panel. So we've got 6 of us and then a couple people from the University of Tennessee.
And some very special machinery.
It's almost like a jet engine.
Through glass tubes, super chilled, they end up with a thimble of pure flavor.
As each of the compounds come out, I can smell the different character as well as the intensity of a compound.
That's UT's doctoral candidate Melissa Dean, and that's not a printer she's smelling. It's a gas chromatographer.
It creates a peak on this chart recorder. It tells us how much of a compound is in there.
Having them do lab analysis and gas chromatograms for us, that allows us to kind of learn as we go.
Giving them a snapshot.
A fingerprint of that whiskey.
You can even see the spikes, think an EKG, on their website.
As far as drinking your whiskey at home, you don't necessarily need to know all those chemical compounds, and you don't have to nerd out on it like that.
For industry, a consistent whiskey. For researchers, serving a mission to aid the private sector in Tennessee.
Manufacturers can have a lot more control over the flavor profile.
Which helps you, with every sip, smooth. In Kodak, Ben Cathy, WVLT News.
How we doing today? What's my job today? Serve food with a smile. I love the opportunity to pass a tray of food to someone who's looking for a meal. Here you go, my friend.
They say if you find a job you love,
But I love even more getting to say hello to everybody that comes through the line. Here you go, sir.
you'll never work a day in your life.
That would be true here. Love what I do. Wouldn't choose to be doing anything else.
But Bert Rosen didn't always feel this way. 20 years ago, when he took the head job at Carm, a homeless shelter in Tennessee,
I couldn't look in the face of anybody who was coming through the doors.
Bert says he was haunted by his own painful connection to homelessness.
Every one of them morphed into the face of Matthew. And I thought, what have I done?
Slam dunk.
Lunch service is over, but Bert's daily ritual
So now we're heading back upstairs.
is just beginning. Every day, he checks the internet,
There's always that little ray of optimism.
hoping for any sign of his missing son.
Look for any Google alerts that have Matthew Rosen's name on it. And then you think to yourself, well, maybe today will be the day.
Right there's Matthew.
Bert and his wife Carolyn have been waiting for that day for 20 years.
You're only in one?
It hasn't come.
The son that went off to college was not the son that came back home. Matthew was diagnosed as being bipolar. He didn't think that he was. And so he was convinced that he didn't need the medication.
Bert and Carolyn say Matthew's behavior became so toxic and that he was so unwilling to get help, they had no other choice but to ask him to leave.
I can still remember that day as if it was yesterday with his rollerboard suitcase. And Carol and I stood there at the door, sobbing.
Their son was newly homeless when Bert was asked to lead the homeless shelter. How did he find the strength to say yes?
Somehow I had this sense that all of those things that we had been through, including Matthew, was now going to somehow make a difference.
I can go to Carm, or I can meet someone on the street, and I could be friendly to him if I can't be friendly to my own son. So that's what keeps me going.
But with Bert set to retire in October, something else will keep them going.
You hear me?
You're muted.
This is it.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. We got you now.
How long has Brendan been missing now?
5 months.
5 months.
5 months and 4 days.
Bert and Carolyn are now counseling parents across the country who also have missing and homeless children, like this couple whose son Brandon disappeared nearly a year ago.
Part of what we want to be able to do is just be an encouragement to you and help you hold on to hope.
Hope is what Bert and Carolyn can give. Because hope is all they have. Hope that even if they never see their son again, there's a reason for the journey.
Somehow, his disappearance and ending up homeless has allowed us to make a difference. All things can work together for good.
Even pain.
Even pain. Even loss. Picture your worst nightmare, your worst heartache. Even that can work for good.